I want to talk about some scenarios in which churches are finding themselves in. So let's talk about first the church who is way behind financially this year. They have to play catch up in Q4.
My goodness, I'm going to give you the playbook.
Please do.
Right now. The playbook to maximize year-end giving. Lean in. You got to listen to this because this can result in a game-changing year-end giving, but it doesn't start in December. It starts way back in August, September. You got to plan for this. You got to be ready. And so I know we're a little bit behind the ball because we're airing this in the midst of the fall. So maybe you need to get ready for next year, but you can catch up. If you haven't already, if you're behind, maybe you should consider doing a message on the tithe. Maybe you should consider doing a whole series on the tithe and giving and generosity, especially preaching, teaching sound doctrine on the principle of the tithe, because that is going to be, I'm telling you right now, the biggest needle mover, more than a year-end one-time gift, to get a giver locked in on recurring and making sure that they have a revelation of the tithe. By the way, it's not just for the church, but it's for them primarily. Yeah. But if they can be activated so that the church's financials can be more predictable in the future, why would you not take an opportunity to do that? I would actually say that it's our responsibility as pastors and ministers to preach on the tithe and get sound doctrine in on that before we even entertain big sacrificial gifts in our church. Those one-time big sacrificial gifts, those are awesome. Yeah. But what's better is discipling people and how they should think about their money. Great. And so October, right now, it's the beginning of October, maybe consider pivoting if you haven't considered it already. Maybe consider at least allotting 1 week towards teaching sound doctrine on the tithe. It's going to be the biggest needle mover. Going into November, if you don't have it earmarked already, you should think about doing some sort of vision dinner, Kingdom Builders gala, some sort of vision Sunday. Okay. You got to do it in November ahead of time of when year-end giving really starts to pop off, because you need to get the vision in front of people as early as possible. I would actually recommend early November. If you get into mid-November, people are going to be starting to travel for Thanksgiving and things of that nature. If you can get in the first kind of weekend or week of November, that will be an ideal spot. You just spoke on biblical generosity, biblical tithing. You flow into big vision for what's ahead in the life of your church, what's going to happen in the next 12 months, what's going to happen in the year ahead, and you're going to get people ready. This vision needs to be big vision. In Silicon Valley, if it's not a big vision, it's not getting invested into. And it's the same principle with the church. But the difference is with venture capitalists, they're looking for a return on investment. What your church members are, especially big givers, they're looking for a return on impact. So what is that $1 billion idea, so to speak? What is that thing that the church can rally around where it's going to take sacrificial giving to see happen? What is that impossible thing that God has put in front of you that is made possible by him and through his people? And so what is stirring in your heart? The vision should always exceed the level of resources that you have. And so you shouldn't even be doing a calculation of what's possible. No, what's impossible. What's going to require a stretch. What's going to require a sacrifice. How cool would it be if God did it? If God did it through his people. If he brought breakthrough through his people and people partnered in seeing that happen. And so you're going to put a vision in front of your church in the beginning of November, and then you're going to ask people to make a commitment, whether it's that vision gala, that dinner, that vision Sunday. You're going to ask people to make a commitment.
So do it from stage even sometimes.
You're going to ask them to make a commitment from stage, but you're going to give, whether it's a physical card or a digital card. If it's digital, they can just do it on their phone. If it's physical, you can collect it in the offering buckets or at the altar. And basically that commitment card, and we don't like to do pledges. That commitment card is a commitment that you're making to give a one-time sacrificial gift above and beyond the tithe between now and the end of the year, right?
Got it.
So you have several weeks to get it done. But the hard thing about pledges is then it kind of feels like you have to invoice people for 12 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's better if you can just make it a one-time sacrificial gift above and beyond the tithe. You want a commitment card so that you can celebrate with the church. Hey, church, we got 2.1 committed. We got 4.2 million committed. We have $7.6 million committed. And then you can update the church over the next 6 weeks on how much has been fulfilled of that commitment. It's like crazy momentum.
Yeah.
You know, competitive people like you, Zoe, love seeing that thermometer chart go up and up and up and up. Generosity begets generosity. Generosity inspires generosity. People start getting in the atmosphere. People start getting in the flow of what's happening in the life of the church. And you start seeing update after update, and it kind of compounds on one another, and you make it to that goal. And so you want to present the vision. You want to ask people to make commitments. You want the finance team to calculate those commitments, announce it to the church, tell them, hey, this is what was committed. You want to update them every week on how much is being fulfilled. As you're facilitating fulfillment, you need to unblock. You need to make frictionless. You need to have the infrastructure that makes the generosity frictionless across not just ACH debit, credit card, checking, savings, giving. You need to make it easy for them to donate non-cash assets, stocks, ETFs, 401ks, IRAs, cryptocurrency. Hello, overflow.co, overflow.co. That's what we're here for. We love unlocking more ways to give because it facilitates, especially in year-end giving, catalytic giving moments. We are serving churches all across America, especially in Q4, fourth quarter. It's the only time you watch an NBA game. I know you. Fourth quarter.
You're right.
It's the most important time of the year, fourth quarter. If you can unlock generosity through making it easy for them to give from their non-cash assets, you inspire catalytic giving. So they're fulfilling, and you want to make sure to do a big party sometime in December as those fulfillments come in as kind of a signification that, hey, we did it. This is how much we fulfilled. This is how much we get to do now next year as part of the vision. And just honor people, exhort people, celebrate with them. Hey, look what God can do now with what you gave.